It's alright. I think they heard you say okie dokie first, but it doesn't matter. Hello, YouTube, Mixer, and Twitch. It is I, the mega famous DJ Winza, and this isn't your normal Dragon Ball Z. This is me teaching you guys some of the rules of Adventure League. And if you are watching on the YouTube version, down below in the description there is a link you can click that you can follow and then find by entering your zip code. You can find your local Adventure League, or just Google Adventurers League, and it'll bring you to the same website by Wizards of the Coast, the current owners of Dungeons and Dragons. Now, the thing about Adventurers League, it is essentially basically they turn Dungeons and Dragons into an MMO. So you get a character ID number after you've created your character, and then you can use that character with whatever stuff has been logged by your DM in another game. Now, you might not want to leave the game with the DM that you're in. In fact, the DM that I have in my Adventurers League thing, they recently had to stop accepting new members because so many fucking people showed up. So, we were fortunate enough to keep our DM, and there are now 3 games going on at this place. All of them are just packed, chock full of people. On the line with me today, I have the incomparable Scorpio. Say hello.
Hello.
And actually, he's the only one who's here. Go ahead.
I have already eaten 3 packets of cheese puffs.
You
Oh, dear.
are going to be pooping up a storm. But yeah. So, I don't really have a whole bunch of pre-made characters just to show off right quick. But what I do have, and you probably notice I'm all washed out and white, it is because my right-handed screen has this on it. Yep, this is a Dungeons and Dragons character sheet. And I'm going to show you how to use this to make a character of your dreams.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it makes me look whiter than usual.
No, I was just seeing where my nearest Adventure League is, and
they don't have it in the UK, I think.
I'm on the Wizards of the Coast thing. I typed in my postcode, and it came up with a load of stuff in in England, but
wicked.
nearest one to me is quite some way away. It is a little too far for me to go, I think.
Yeah, for those of us that have cars, we do. You do. It's just too far.
I do not have a car.
Okay.
I am not a driver.
It's all right. But yeah, if you do have a vehicle, you should have no problems getting there, or if public transportation goes that far. Although
no problem with public transportation going that far. It's just gonna take me a couple of hours or more to get there and back again, and with work and how late it's probably going to be, I don't think that's going to happen.
Although, at the same time, you might meet someone who's there who has a vehicle that doesn't mind driving you to and from.
Maybe. Well, let's get there in the first place.
Yeah, getting there in the first place is going to be the rough part. But
yeah,
anyhow,
I think I'll stick to playing some D&D with you guys.
Yeah, because it's free. You don't have to spend any gas money or bus money or train money. Planes, trains, and automobiles. Good God.
Probably all of those things to get to it from where I am.
Oh, good God. But yeah. So this is also going to be handy for those that want to play D&D with me on my stream, because I use the same rules for character creation in my home campaigns, as well as my one-shots. Hello, Gerald.
Hello, Gerald.
I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name.
I don't think you've reached the point yet where you're throwing in too many homebrew rules.
Well, I do have a handful. It's just because they make sense. Like, for example, this is not an Adventure League rule. Do not expect a DM in Adventure League to use this, but spellcasters of level 4 or higher can cast any of their cantrips as a bonus action, even if the casting cost says 1 action, because they've become so used to using their cantrips that it's just like da-da-da, boom, because it's a cantrip. It's what wizards practice with. And starting from level 10, I augment that and make it up to a 2nd level spell as a bonus action. Because right around that level, spellcasters without bonus actions end up kind of lagging behind the meleeers. Plus, I just want to get combat over really quickly, so I don't care.
Ooh, while I'm thinking about it, how are you getting on with Roll20?
I have not fucking used it at all. I've looked at it. I took 5 minutes of the tutorial, nearly fell asleep, and have not looked back since.
I was just saying, because that's what we used when I played my first game with a friend of mine way back. It's good for seeing... It's good for having something to look at, you know? You can see where all of the enemies are. I think there's, like, lighting system in there somewhere. So if it's dark as shit, you can't see shit.
One of the things I want to do as you know, if this becomes more popular on my channel, is I'm going to want to start setting up maps that people can see and have a camera that points at it so that you can see what I'm setting up. And, you know, I'll try to have it so north, south, east, and west are still valid directions to say.
You're going to get your arts and crafts skills on the go then.
Cheers. I shouldn't have eaten this entire cracker at once. That was really stupid of me.
What kind of crackers you got there?
Salt and cracked pepper.
Salt and cracked pepper. I like cream crackers, and the little Ritz crackers are pretty good. Is it water biscuits? They're pretty good as well. They're kind of crunchy.
These are water crackers.
Water crackers. That's probably the same sort of thing, really. You put a bit of butter on them. Oh.
Hey, Dote, host, I can make you a map if you like. Awesome. Hopefully I'll be boring enough that I'll help you sleep in no time, Dote.
We got someone to help out with maps.
Yeah.
That'll be good for when you start your full campaign.
Yeah. Well, I've also got 2 campaigns that I'm already sort of DMing. One of them...
Yeah, I meant on here, though. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, now bear with me. I'm going to look something up real quick. Where is it? Thank you guys for your patience. I should have already put stuff in the book to help me find things. Alright, there we go. On page 13 of the Player's Handbook, let me give you guys a nice close picture. It's the Player's Handbook. I actually have it in my hands. I have a digital copy, but it's because I paid for the digital copy. So that's not going anywhere. Fuck you, stop asking. It says variant customizing ability scores. Tabletop Sim 4. Well, I prefer using Theater of the Mind just because it's what I'm used to. But anyway, on page 13, because this is the creating character, this is a very important part of creating your character if you're going to be part of Adventure League. So, bringing the character sheet back up. At your Dungeon Master's option, you can use the variant for determining your ability score, or this variant for God damn it, I can't talk tonight. For determining your ability scores, sir. The method described here allows you to build a character with a set of ability scores you choose individually. You have 27 points to spend on your ability scores. The cost of each score is shown on the ability scores point cost table. All the way over here. Right there. That thing. Let me give you a close-up. Oh, god damn it. Yeah. There we go. That right here.
Yeah, I got a player's handbook, but it's version it's 3.5, unfortunately. A little outdated, I think.
There we go. Focus.
Yeah, when I did my first D&D game, it was 3.5 edition.
Yeah,
that's the rules the player preferred. I guess a bit more complicated than 5th edition. I don't know.
Yeah. 3.5 and 4th were the two most complicated of the D&D games. That's why they made things as simplified as they have for 5th edition. It's one of the reasons I love it so much, because it's a lot easier to remember only a small handful of things, because this is actually a quote from Chris Perkins, who's one of the lead adventure writers for Wizards of the Coast for Dungeons and Dragons. Round about the end of 4th edition, they had over 12,000 feats. Just feats. For character creation.
Some people like going into fine that kind of detail, but yeah, my friend is my friend especially really liked all the little details.
It was still a major pain in the buttocks, like for real, not even joking.
Yeah, not everyone likes that much options. Sometimes they want it to be a little more streamlined.
Well, not only that, but a lot of people would see like 4th edition rulebooks on how to create a character and be like, all I see is word salad. They're letters, but I don't know what they mean. Oh my god! And, you know,
I'm betting the 4th edition rulebook, the physical rulebook, was probably big enough to crush a small child.
Yes.
Just give it to a small child and watch them crumple underneath it.
Yeah,
it was probably that huge.
That's what she said. But either way, another thing that they did with this edition was they made it so that almost anybody could pick up and play it. Like, as long as you don't even have to have someone who's played it before. They have the starter pack, and the starter pack has pre-generated characters that anyone can play. It has an entire adventure called Lost Mines of Phandelver, and it's apparently really fun even for people that are veteran D&D players, because, it's got all sorts of different stuff you can just piecemeal pull out of the adventure and pop into a different adventure and just change a name up or two, and bickety bam, you're good to go. In fact, the modularity of 5th edition has made it really good. Go ahead. You were going to say something.
No, I wasn't actually. I was taking a drink.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Speaking of which, I should probably take a drink.
I was saying that I was thinking about the you say the prefabricated characters. It was pretty good for some people, but I myself, I like the whole character creation kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's why I'm doing this today.
But when I made my character for 3.5, oh my goodness, the numbers were overwhelming.
Yeah, everything in that book was overwhelming.
Kind of put me off a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. But once the character was made and the role play and all that started, it was better.
But anyhow, I'm gonna get started now.
Okie dokie.
So, as I was mentioning earlier, you have 27 points to spend on your ability scores. The cost of each score is shown as I showed you guys on the table. I can show it again. Gonna do that very quickly. There we go. I don't care if you didn't see it. Just get yourself a player's handbook. They're a good fucking thing to have. And again, page 13. For example,
that looks like a dwarf on that page. Sorry, I just noticed the picture.
Oh, that's Bronner from the Forgotten Realms book series.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. But as it shows, for example, a score of 14 costs 7 points. Also, a score of 15 is 9 points. But the highest you can choose with this style is 15, and that's before you add any racial bonuses. Because we got to pull the race card here. So, just for funsies, I'm actually going to pull my phone out because I have something that helps me keep track of the building characters numbers wise, even though I probably should learn to use a friggin' calculator. We will go to this. There we go.
Is using a calculator actually that hard? It's just numbers.
Well, it's just, this also makes it so when I bring things up to 15, it actually costs the appropriate amount anyway. So, we're just going to create a random character. I'll let you pick the race.
Okie dokie.
Do you want me to give the base races from the player's handbook for the viewers that might not know them?
I got tails. Kobold.
You what?
Kobold.
Kobold? Well,
Kobold.
That we're going to get to that in just a moment. So first, another thing about Adventure League is you're allowed one book in addition to the player's handbook. Currently, we're using the PHB. If we are going to go with Kobold, I will have to pull out the Volo's Guide to Monsters so that we can get the status bumps from that.
Alrighty then.
Now, bear with me. I actually have to find it because it's inside of a backpack. And I should have pulled all these out ahead of time, but why would I be smart and prepare things ahead of time? I'm a fucking moron here. All right, so
it's for the fun. It's fun to watch the struggle. It makes it worthwhile in the end. Yeah, like I said, just now when I was picking the characters, I flipped the coin, and it came up as Tails, so it was Kobold. It
Tails
take
is
a
a
while.
fox, though.
Yeah, but a Kobold has a tail, so
Well,
that's what this. Guess which head? Guess which race heads was going to be.
Goblin.
God damn it! You got it right.
Same book. Actually, no. With Goblin, there was a choice of 2 books. However, right now, one of them is not Adventure League legal.
Ah,
Yeah,
what was
so
it? Out of curiosity.
Ravnica's the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica, another book that I have and love. There's so much in there, so much cool stuff.
Why is it not Adventure League legal?
Because most of the Adventure League modules that are approved all take place in Faerun, which is the world of Forgotten Realms, on the planet Toril. God damn, I'm such a fucking nerd. Anyway, so I have Volo's Guide to Monsters with that Frost Giant and that... Is that a cleric with a legal folder? Ah, well, I can't tell. Anyway, in here... Oh my god, I'm getting buzzing from my phone. In here somewhere. Well, I'll get back to it in a moment, because I have to introduce you guys to the Player's Handbook Races. But, yeah. Give me a moment.
I'm struggling. Ah! Damn it, Bubbles.
Anyway, first are dwarfs. Do your dwarf. Do it now.
Do me dwarf.
Do your dwarf. Yes.
I got a question.
What's your question?
What dwarven lasses in that handbook? Do they have beards?
No, they don't have beards in the handbook. Although,
They
no, they might have a 5 o'clock shadow. But that's about as far as it goes.
They didn't have beards.
Well, the thing is, they wanted to attract more women to play, so they didn't make it so that, you know, dwarf women had the hokey beard like earlier editions did, just to be silly. Instead, they look all serious and powerful, like this young lady. And by the way, that's another thing I absolutely love about the D&D books that they have now. The art is just delightful.
Yeah, seriously though, I never really was one for dwarf females having beards.
Yeah, neither was I.
It was an amusing thought. It was an amusing thing to put in there though.
Yeah, it was mainly for the lols.
Yeah, first I heard of that was Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Before that was like, wait, what?
Yeah. I'm not going to go too much into their stats, but all dwarves have the ability to see, to have dark vision up to 60 feet. I'll explain that in a little bit. Hill dwarves have +1 to wisdom and +2 to constitution. Mountain dwarves get +2 to strength and +2 to constitution. But that doesn't make hill dwarves or any other race inferior to mountain dwarves. They're just different. And mountain dwarves are the only ones with a +2/+2. They also resist poison.
Each race, I'm sure, has their own strengths and weaknesses.
Very much so. Like, for example, elves. For the most part, a lot of them start with extra proficiencies. Like, for example, let's see. Let me find it on here. Actually, it doesn't have them here. It has them in the sub-races. But high elves start automatically. And all of the elves get +2 dex, but high elves also get +2 intelligence. But they also get elven weapon training, which is automatic proficiency in longsword, short sword, short bow, and long bow. So you can be a wizard that is proficient with a longsword. Wood elves, they also get the same weaponry, but they also gain the ability to... they also get a +1 to their wisdom, and they have the ability to hide while obscured by foliage. So basically, if they're standing next to a tree, they can use that for stealth. And have the foliage, like, literally just move to protect them. And then for those of you that are total edgelords and love Dristorden, there are Drow, or Dark Elves. They get a +1 to their charisma, and they have superior dark vision, up to 120 feet. The cost for that is, if they're in direct sunlight, they get disadvantage on everything, because they're blinded by the fucking sun. And they also gain magic spells just for being Drow. I'm not going to go too much into that.
Tragic backstory is optional, but encouraged.
Actually, any kind of backstory is open in D&D, because it's fucking Dungeons and Dragons. You can be a barbarian that was raised by clowns. You can be a rogue that was brought up in high society and then just decided to steal from the poor to give back to the rich. You know, like Republicans. That was some shade, by the way. Anyway, next up, we've got Halflings. I'm not super fond of the art for 5th edition Halflings, because I remember them having those big, beautiful, fuzzy feet. And I loved the big, beautiful, fuzzy feet. I loved the fact that Halflings had that. But now they gave them tiny-ass feet and tiny-ass hands and giant-ass heads. So they're even harder to discern between them and gnomes. But, no, Halflings are very lucky. Anytime they roll a natural 1, they can just re-roll the D20, and they still have to get whatever they get the second time, which I suffered from on Friday, because I rolled a natural 1 for a saving throw for Drow Poison, and it took me a moment to remember, wait a minute, I'm a Halfling! I get to re-roll that! I got a 2.
That's better than a 1.
Yeah, but I still failed. I still ended up plop, face down, unconscious. It was like so perfect D&D. But yeah, their special abilities, Halflings that is, they have advantage on saving throws against being frightened. So let's say there's a dragon, and the dragon roars to make everybody scared. Halflings get advantage. Which helped the same Halfling, and actually succeeded, because I rolled a 3 on one die, and I rolled a 19 on the other. So I was like, yes, I am not afraid of that fucking dragon. Fuck you, dragon. And then I turned into a giant ape and proceeded to pummel the dragon. And then ejaculate magic missiles when I changed back. Anyway, long story. They're only about 3 feet tall. And they qualify as a small creature. Dwarves actually qualify as medium because they're much bulkier.
Mm-hmm.
Halflings can also move through the space of any creature, large or medium or bigger. So they can just like run right underneath a horse, or run right underneath a dragon, or run right underneath the fighter that has a sword that's like, between them and the enemies, or vice versa. Oh shit, I'm between the fighter and the enemies? Just hide underneath the fighter's coattails. The two sub-races are Lightfoot and Stout. Lightfoot gets +1 charisma. All halflings get +2 dex. And Stout gets +1 constitution. Oh, and you know what's really funny? There's also the most popular race in D&D. Almost everybody selects this for their first character. Almost everybody. Cassie didn't. I'm so proud of her. She chose half-elf druid. But almost everyone chooses human fighter. Everyone.
Yeah, that was my first character when I did the 3.5 game.
You know what my first character was?
Was it a dwarf?
No, it was a Kender fighter.
It's a Kender.
Kender,
I don't know what a Kender is.
It's all right. I'm about to explain. Kender they haven't released in 5th edition yet. They're probably still working on the legal aspects of it, but they're a race from the Dragonlance books. It would also qualify them as a halfling race because they're very similar. They're roughly about the same size. They're super brave. In fact, they are immune to fear. Like, they cannot be made scared. And they also have a racial weapon that is, like, out of ordinary use for almost every other race. And it's called a hoopak. It's like a combination whistle, spear, slingshot.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a it's weird.
Someone's dropped a character sheet in the Discord.
Oh,
by the way.
Hold on.
Level 7 though. Level 7 Berserker by looks fit.
And hold on, I need to move stuff so that I can. Hey, Kothar. Burither the Determined. Nice. Dragonborn. That's another race that I'll get into in just a moment, because right now I'm on the most popular race in D&D. You have the ability to play a part dragon, an elf, a dwarf, a halfling, a gnome, a fucking kobold. Yet people play humans.
They are very relatable.
Yeah, they are. In fact, they're also, let's be honest, one of the most well-rounded and versatile races in all of D&D. There are actually two versions of human. There is the standard, which gives them one extra language of their choice, and they also gain +1 to every stat. So, strength +1, dex, and so on. Everything gets a +1.
That is a pretty good reason to play human.
Yeah, but the one that people play more often than any other is variant human. Now, that one's much different, and it really does have to do with whether or not the Dungeon Master allows feats. Some don't, very few don't, because feats aren't game-breaking in this one. You can't, get something that makes you instantly kill a bugbear while the sun is gleaming off of your sword or some shit like that. No, the feats are much different. They're much more well-rounded, if that makes any sense. One feat will give several benefits. So, yeah, you don't have to worry about 170 million feats. And Variant Human gets to have, at the cost of 4 of those +1s, it gets to pick up 1 feat at level 1.
Neat.
Yeah. And some feats also provide a +1 to another stat. So you can
You would be trading. You would be trading 4 +1s or 1 +1.
Yes, but the feats also provide other benefits that you can't get anywhere else. Like, for example, you can, if you're a human fighter who uses a two-handed sword, you can just start off with great weapon fighting as your fighting style, and the feat great weapon master. If you with the fighter's great weapon fighting style, you get to re-roll all 1s and 2s as long as you're using a two-handed weapon. And with great weapon master, you can take a -5 penalty for your hitting of the enemy to gain +10 to the damage you're causing. But that's not all. If you strike an enemy down with your great weapon, you can then use your bonus action to hit another motherfucker.
Just make sure that first guy doesn't come back more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
They usually don't. Unless your DM is really good at leveling up your big bad evil guys. But other than that, there's not really much else going on for humans. I mean, you can just name your human whatever the fuck you want.
Call him Bob. Bob the human.
I'm Bob the human. I do Bob things. And how am I showing this? Oh, it's full. So, yeah, I'm looking directly at you guys. Next up is Dragonborn, which Kothar put in our I'm just going to move this here because I can. Right here, I'm going to change to that so you can see. He created a level 7 Berserker Barbarian, and it is a Dragonborn. And come on, there we go. Change back. There we go. Hey, it's Average Joe Gaming Show. For the record, you guys are going to meet him on Saturday. I hope you're ready, John. John's one of my best friends. Him and Marco Amazo and I hang out quite frequently. In fact, he, Cassie, and Marco Amazo are the 3 players in my Sunday game. And I can't wait till next session when I can really fuck with you guys. Oh! Anyway. And... ow, my back. Dragonborn was where I was before the greeting. Dragonborn, which... this is a good example. You just threw a human wizard up in this bitch. Let me get...
not just any human wizard.
Bob.
No.
Really? What human wizard? Is it Mordenkainen? Or Mordenkainen?
You'll have to take a look.
Well, I'm busy, so I'll get to that in a moment. Dragonborns come in many flavors. In lieu of having specific sub-races, they just have the same colors as dragons. So they come in the same colors: black, blue, brass, bronze, copper, gold, green, red, silver, and white. If you know anything about those dragon colors, then you'll know that they all have a different elemental or breath weapon. And the Dragonborn also have that, although theirs is a little bit weaker. A lot of it weaker, actually.
It makes sense. They're a smaller creature.
Yeah, it caps out at 5d6 at level 16. But at level 1, it does 2d6 damage on a failed save. And I'm not going to go too much into what the elementals are, but in addition to being able to breathe... It is still foggy. Jesus. There we go. All right. In addition to being able to breathe the elemental, you also resist the elemental. So if someone's using fire on you, you're resistant. If someone's using acid on you, or if someone's using fire on you and you're gold or red, you're resistant. I think that's also brass. So brass, gold, and red all resist fire. Black and bronze resist, brass and, copper resist acid. Blue and bronze resist lightning. Silver and white resist cold. And green, just by itself, resists poison.
Neat.
Yeah. And...
Dragonborns are the lizard dudes that don't have a tail, aren't they?
Yes. That is another thing. In the official rules, Dragonborn do not have tails. There are some people who homebrewed it so that they do have tails, to make them even further down, or for earlier generation from their draconic ancestry. But as a general rule in Adventure League, you will not be a tail-having Dragonborn. Also, their stats, they gain +2 to strength and +1 to charisma. They make really, really good fucking paladins. Like, really good paladins. Next up, gnomes. We are law gnomes! That's a joke from 90s cartoons, kids. Don't be a freakazoid.
That should be a sub-race.
Well, they have 3. Although I don't think they have the third one in this book. Yeah, they don't have Sir Feblin in the handbook. But basically think not evil drow versions of gnomes. Yeah. I don't remember what off the top of my head what bonuses they get, but normal gnomes get a +2 to their intelligence, so automatically they're all really good as wizards. Forest gnome gets an extra 1 dexterity and the ability to speak with small beasts. So, like, they go into a forest and they can be like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Ferret, how are you today?" And you'll just hear the ferret go, and he'll be like, "Oh, so there's an orc nearby? Awesome! I can't wait to kill him for you!" And then proceed to do so. Rock gnomes get a +1 to their constitution score, and they also can make clockwork toys.
Can they talk to rocks?
No, they don't. But they can make all sorts of tinkered items. They are the Tinker Gnomes of 5th edition D&D. Tinker Gnomes are also a subrace of gnome from Dragonlance. But they don't bring the Kender. Well, probably because people don't want to play with a Kender, because they don't realize how much fun it is to be someone who doesn't realize you stole everything from someone and they didn't realize it. Anyway, moving right along. Next up is half-elf. Kind of obvious how they come about. They're half-elf. That's it.
I suppose that's the same sort of thing that happens with the half-orcs.
Yeah. Stat-wise, they automatically gain a +2 to their charisma, but they also gain +1 to 2 other stats. So, like, +2 charisma, and then you can slap the other the other points in, like, intelligence and wisdom and make a really bomb-ass caster. Or +1 to strength and +1 to constitution and make a really good, not as strong physically as a Dragonborn, but a pretty damn beastly paladin. Or they can just be a good bard with, like, +1 to dex and +1 to intelligence. Yeah, today is his first day. Hello, HD Cat. They also have the dark vision that regular elves have. And half-elves... wait, hold on. Elves, just in general, including half-elves, get the ability to avoid being charmed. They have advantage on saving throws for it. And cannot be magically put to sleep. Next up, you mentioned it while I was bringing up the half-elf. Half-orc. Like, this is quite possibly one of the most perfect versions of a half-orc I've ever seen. In fact, if that half-orc wasn't female and had a beard, that would be my character Uzax. Actually, not right now, because Uzax is not wearing leather or furs anymore because they got all incinerated. Amazingly, he survived. He was down to 1 HP, but he survived! And then he stole a wizard's robe, and then a breastplate to put over the robe, so and a helmet, because he's all burnt and scarred up from the flames. So now he's become fucking Darth Vader, only now with a flaming sword and shield. Anyway, long story. Obviously, they're half-orc. However you want to play that, I have my story of Uzax. His mom is the leader of the tribe and an orc, and it was an honor for his dad to be her husband. So there we go. You can have it however horrible you want, but I liked making it, oh hey, the happy families. But half-orcs have a lot of good stuff for martial classes. For critical hits, they get an ability called Savage Attacks. When you score a critical hit with a melee weapon attack, you can roll one of the weapon's damage dice one additional time and add it to the extra damage of the critical hit. So, yeah. Their critical hits hit really fucking hard. They gain the ability that if they are dropped to 0 hit points once per long rest, they can just get right back up with 1 HP.
Neat.
I've had to use that twice. And stat-wise, they gain +2 to strength and +1 to constitution. They make really good barbarians.
I'd imagine that would be useful for a barbarian.
Or fighters.
I don't know, I did pretty good
twice
with my
so
Goblin
far.
Barbarian.
Huh?
I did pretty good with my Goblin Barbarian.
Yeah?
That tiny little green ball of rage.
So, moving on to the next one, Tiefling. It's another one of my favorite races, although I've never played one. Excuse me, I've never played one. John plays a Tiefling in my campaign with him. Not the Adventure League, but the one that I'm running.
Oh, they have a tail.
Yes, a devil tail. There are a few variants on Tiefling. Like if you wanted to use, and I'm going to grab the book out to show you guys. If you wanted to use the Player's Handbook and Mordenkainen's Tome of Foes, there are rules in here for different breeds of Tiefling. And I actually let him use Levistus as the source of his malfactor, so to speak. What made him a tiefling. The source of his demonic or devilish power, to be more accurate. But there's a handful, and they get different stat bonuses than the standard player's handbook version of the tiefling, which the standard one gets +1 intelligence, so they're a little better than the average Joe at being a wizard, or they can be a bard, sorcerer, or warlock with the +2 charisma. So they're really good caster classes. Oh yeah, they also get different innate spells with the ones from Mordenkainen's. Speaking of which, the base ones, they all get dark vision, but the base spells they get are Thaumaturgy at level 1. At level 3, they get Hellish Rebuke they can do once a day as a 2nd level spell. And at 5th level, they gain the ability to cast Darkness. They also automatically resist fire damage, although the one he chose resists ice damage, because it's one from, a different type of hell. That's all the races from the player's handbook.
Well, I know what I'm going to be playing after the Dwarf.
After the Dwarf?
Yeah.
Tiefling?
They have the tail.
There are other things that have tails. And we'll get to that in just a moment as I open Volo's Guide to Monsters.
Yay, monsters.
Yeah. You don't let that excitement get you too hyped. Yeah.
Monsters make cool characters too.
Yes, actually they do. In fact, I'll explain one of my favorite that I play when I get to that specific race. Go ahead.
It's good. It's good to play some monsters every once because they make interesting characters. Because normally you think of monsters as the bad guys, the enemies. Yeah. You're going in there and you're shoving your sword in some goblins or some kobolds or whatever your level you are.
No, there can be high-level goblins and kobolds. Just build them as a character. And send the character-based ones at your players.
Yeah, it makes for interesting interactions.
Yeah.
Like remember that one time the first game I played where I was the bugbear.
Yeah, I made that bugbear. I loved that bugbear. I wanted to play him myself, but I don't get that many people wanting to do one-shots for me to play in. Because now I tell people I can DM, and everyone's like, hey, can I play in one of your games? And I'm like, oh, hey. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it was good. We had that weird, that one interaction with the old guy.
Yeah.
And he slowly figured out, oh, God, this is a bugbear.
And he proceeded to shit himself, especially when your goblin friend walked over and was like, no, don't worry about him. Oh, God! He's harmless. Yeah, if you guys want to see that, that's the first episode of Dragon Ball Z. Anyway.
Don't go and watch it now, though. Continue watch this one. Watch it afterwards.
But the first one, I believe, is Cassie's favorite race, because she's played this one more than anything else.
Asamar.
Goliath.
Oh
no! Wait, she's played Goliath as well. Holy shit! She has two favorite races that she didn't even realize were her favorite races. Oh, they all get fire resist. My bad. You see, I was actually going to run it that you had ice resist. But now that I know it's fire resist, guess what you're going to be hit with all the time? Ice.
Yeah, I think demons and devils get resistance to fire in general.
But anyway.
It might be Fiends too, but I don't know.
Fiends, most fiends, not all fiends come from the Nine Hells. Some come from Limbo.
Mm,
Those are called Yugoloths.
yeah.
All right,
I'm kind of. Something I've been thinking about the other day. I'm trying to figure out what succubi are. Are they fiends or are they demons or are they devils?
They are general fiends. They are not demons or devils in this incarnation of the game, and they are not Yugoloths either. And yes, there is a distinction between devil and demon and Yugoloth. Fiends
I think
are not part of any army.
Yeah, demons are chaotic.
Yep,
evil.
Demons are the chaotic evil. Devils are the lawful
evil. Yeah.
Yugoloths are neutral evil. So you never know where you fucking stand with them. At least, a chaotic evil thing, is trying to fucking destroy everything around it. And at least with a lawful evil, they're trying to fuck you over. But a neutral evil, they
don't know what they're doing.
Whatever they want.
I know, I think I read some of the succubi used to be demons.
They also used to be devils.
It changed between editions. They're just playing musical alignments all over the place.
Well, no, they're still chaotic evil, but they don't qualify as demons. They were devils at one point. They were demons at one point. Now they are simply labeled fiend. But anyway, let's get back to the subject at hand.
Okay.
Table talk. Anyway, I thought this was her favorite, and then you brought up that she's played 2 fucking Goliaths, which we'll get to in a minute. But Aasimar, which are to heaven what tieflings are to the hells.
So they are half celestial.
Yes. And they come in 3 flavors.
Oh, really? Is it chocolate, banana, and strawberry?
More like vanilla, chocolate, and swirl. There is... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Vanilla. Vanilla is a really good flavor, but I'm getting distracted.
Yeah, it's all right. They all get +2 to their charisma. They all get dark vision. They all get... hold on, let me just double check. Resistance to necrotic and radiant damage. They get the ability to use healing hands, and it allows them to heal someone up to their level in HP. They can also automatically do light. And then there are the sub-races. Protector, which I call the vanilla. They give you an additional +1 to your wisdom, which is apropos. So that would make them a really good bard, a really good sorcerer, a really good warlock if you want to make them a warlock. The extra wisdom also makes it so they can be a good druid or a good cleric of any kind. Radiant Soul is another ability. You can use your action to unleash the divine energy within yourself, causing your eyes to glimmer, and 2 luminous, incorporeal wings sprout from your back. It lasts for a minute, or until you end it as a bonus action. You also gain a flying speed of 30 feet, and once on each of your turns, you can deal extra radiant damage to one target you deal damage to with an attack or spell. And the extra radiant damage is your level.
Cool.
You can only do it once per long rest. Hey, Kothar.
Hey.
Next is the Scourge Asimar, which that's the one I call Swirl. Gives you +1 Constitution. So even though it gets bonuses to Charisma, that extra Constitution means it can go towards a martial class more easily. Or pretty much any class that you expect to take some kind of damage. So, Paladin, anybody?
Sounds like it would be good Paladin.
Yeah. Its Radiant Consumption ability, which it gets at level 3 instead of Radiant Soul. You use your action to unleash the divine energy within yourself, causing a searing light to radiate from you. Pour out of your eyes and mouth, and threaten to char you. Your transformation lasts 1 minute, or until you end it. During it, you shed bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light in another 10. And at the end of each of your turns, you and each creature within 10 feet of you take radiant damage equal to half your level rounded up. So you take damage too, but you're hurting everybody. In addition, once each of your turns, you can deal extra radiant damage to one target you hit. Sort of like the last one, only you also have a damage aura around you. The last one, which I call Chocolate, is Fallen Asimar. This one's really good at the martial classes, so definitely good for a paladin. Also usable for a barbarian. It gives you the +1 to strength, and it gives you Necrotic Shroud at level 3. You use your action to unleash the divine energy within yourself, causing your eyes to turn into pools of darkness, and 2 skeletal, ghostly, flightless wings sprout from your back. The instant you transform, other creatures within 10 feet of you that can see you must succeed on a Charisma saving throw. Dex +8 plus your, or DC is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your Charisma modifier, or become frightened of you until the end of your next turn. Your transformation lasts for 1 minute, or until you end it as a bonus action. During it, you once each of your turn, you can deal extra necrotic damage, the same way as the other 2 deal radiant damage. So it's still pretty beastly.
Indeed.
Next is one that it looks cuter than you'd think it would be, considering what it is. The Furbolg. Now you see, it looks cute, but realize that motherfucker is 8 feet tall. Blink, blink. They are also gentle giants.
They look like gentle giants.
Yeah.
They do look like gentle giants.
They gain +2 to wisdom, which makes them really good at... In fact, they're one of the best races to be a druid. But you don't have to make them a druid. You can make them a cleric. You can make them... God damn fucking camera. Straighten out. You can make them a paladin because they also gain +1 to strength. Actually, cleric is really good because clerics can also be up in melee, pounding someone's face in with a weapon. And they also, give me 1 second, they automatically have the ability to cast Detect Magic and Disguise. And they can only do either of the 2. You have to pick one. And they can only do that once per long rest. And this version of Disguise Self lets them look up to 3 feet shorter than they normally are. The normal Disguise Self only lets you go up to a foot shorter.
Neat.
Yes. They also gain the ability to turn invisible as a bonus action temporarily until the start of their next turn. So they do it at the beginning of their turn, or excuse me, after they make their action, before they make their move action. They go invisible, and then they move somewhere else, and then at the beginning of their next turn, poof, they're visible again. And it's another. This one comes back after a short rest, which is pretty tight. They can carry a lot. They can speak to plants and animals, and well, they can talk to them, but the animals can't talk back. Whereas a gnome can just straight up talk to like a little bird and have the bird talk back. Now for the Goliath. This one is pretty beastly. They make for excellent martial classes, although don't write them off for casters. They are still good for casters. In fact, Angry Joe Gaming Show, my friend John, the first character he played in one of my one-shots was a Goliath necromancy wizard. And I'll get to why he chose that as I'm reading their natural abilities. Now, this doesn't really help with being a wizard, but they gain +2 to strength and +1 to constitution. So they really do lend themselves very well to martial classes. They're also like 7 to 8 feet tall. They automatically have the ability athletics, or the skill rather. They have the ability Stone's Endurance. When you take damage as a reaction, you roll a d12, and you add your Constitution modifier to the number rolled, and reduce the damage you just took by that amount.
Cool. Am I correct in? I think I read some of the. Aren't Goliaths supposed to be like half giant or something?
Yes.
Or is that something else?
They are. That is them. They're half stone giant.
Neat.
Yeah. They normally have grayish, almost stone-like skin. And that is where they get the ability Stone's Endurance from. Which is the one I just described.
Don't ask me how that comes about. A half giant.
Well, maybe the guy went scuba diving.
Maybe.
They can also carry as if they're a larger creature. They don't need any sort of special clothing to live at high altitude. But that one ability, Stone's Endurance, that could save a goddamn wizard's life.
Yeah, retreating. Yeah, definitely.
No, not even retreating. You take like a big old hit, and then you roll a d12 plus your con mod. All that damage is gone.
That sounds very potent.
Oh yeah, but it's usually on a melee class. Next up, the Kenku, which is another one of my favorite classes. Or not classes, races. This little bastard here. I'm going to tell you guys right now, Matthew Mercer had included a Kenku in Campaign 2 of Critical Role that legitimately had me cry like a bitch when the character left. Because The character was fucking adorable. And I'll explain why. Well, I'll give you the stats real quick, and then I'll explain what I love about Kenku. They get +2 to Dex and +1 to Wisdom. So they can be good rogues. They can be good clerics. They can be good... words come out of my face, please. Rangers. They can be good druids. They are experts at forging. They have the ability to mimic any sound they hear. And you played one of these not too long ago.
Ah, yes, world famous Kinky Bard, Rook Astley.
Yes. Now, the thing about them is they are not able to speak like you or I. They have to mimic things that they have heard because they are not able to come up with audibly original thoughts. Like verbally, they cannot say anything original. So they just mimic the sound and that's it. So, like, you know, the fighter over there says, "Ah, that was some good meat." And then the Kenku turns and says, "Ha! That was some good meat." And that's it. Their beak just opens and then closes. And they can just mimic stuff they heard. Like, I had you saying some really fucking weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
Cassie on hers, she has like 3 pages of shit that character knows how to say. And we just had one shot. And she kept pulling different lines at the best times. And I can't remember any of them because it was like a month and a half ago.
Yeah, when I was playing my Kenku, I was meshing different lines together.
Yeah, and you can do that. As long as... Another way you can do it, and they actually have here, so that it's not annoying to people, you can say, I make sounds of something trying to get your attention because I'm waiting and bored. Like, you know, the sound of a foot tapping against a tile floor. Or something like that. Or the sounds of sizzling meat because you're hungry. Or something along along those lines. Because they may not be creative, but you can be creative using them. And that's why they're one of my favorites. And bear with me, I have to blow my nose again. Oh, they also can't fly.
No.
Next up, here's one that has a tail. Lizard folk. These are also ones that you have to put a little bit more into to roleplay because they don't think the same way as, you know, soft skins or the fuzzy ones or the feathery ones think. They actually have different quirks, and there's the cool picture of a lizard folk right there. But they have like little quirks that they encourage you. There we go. Okay, that they encourage you try to pick one. I picked like 2 or 3. I'll go into those because they're on the page before the stats. If you want to just pick them at random, you just roll a d8. For 1, you hate waste and see no reason not to scavenge fallen enemies. Fingers are tasty and portable. Or 2, you sleep best while mostly submerged in water. Or 3, money is meaningless to you. 4, you think there are only 2 species of humanoid, lizard folk and meat. Yeah, this is what it says here. You can treat it however you want. Like my my lizard folk that I play in John's game, Average Joe Gaming Show, he is known as Komodo. He does not really care what people think of him because he is lizard folk. He does not like speaking in common if he does not have to. He prefers speaking in Dwarven and Draconic and now Elven, where he speaks with flawless poise and absolute perfect diction, where common is made for people that have lips. Lizard folk do not have lips. So, there's that aspect of him. 5. You have learned to laugh. You use this talent in response to all emotional situations to better fit in with your comrades. Oh no! He just died! Ha 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 ha! Why are you laughing? Aren't I supposed to be? Ha 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 ha! 6. Yeah, you gotta have fun with these, because, so many choices. 6. You don't understand how metaphors work. That doesn't stop you from using them at every opportunity.
Oh, dear.
Like someone's building a sword at a blacksmith, and you say, "That is way cookie crumbles." What are you talking about? Is that not what sword makers say? No. dot dot dot. 7. You appreciate the soft humanoids who realize they need chainmail and swords to match the gifts you were born with. I'll get to that part in a moment. And 8. You enjoy eating your food while it's still wriggling. So, yeah. They can be gross.
That one is gruesome.
Yeah, they can be pretty gruesome. Like, I chose 2 of those. There are only 2 species of humanoid, lizard folk and meat, and money is meaningless to me. I think. Yeah. No. It's the human, lizard folk and meat, and you hate to waste and see no reason not to scavenge fallen enemies. Because I literally took an arm from a satyr after skinning the satyr fur off of his crotch and legs, because I wanted to make a cloak to sell, but I kept the arm because I was hungry.
It's not one then, I suppose.
Yeah. So, you can be gross. It's fucking D&D. You can describe things however you want. My fucking half-orc barbarian carried around a dead baby dragon fetus for a while and just shook it at people. Hey, anyone want this? Just imagine the fucking body just flopping back and forth as he swung it around. He's fucking arm wrestled a black dragon. I am ridiculous in when I actually get to play, because I'm like, all right, I can do all the stuff that I was hoping my players would do. Anyway, back to the descriptions of lizard folk. Ability score wise, you gain +2 to Constitution and +1 to Wisdom. They make good rangers. They make good barbarians. They make good fighters. With the +1 Wisdom, they can also be a decent cleric or druid. And the Constitution, even though you might not think it's good for caster classes, because concentration checks are a thing in 5th edition. To do a concentration check, you do a Constitution saving throw. So you roll a d20, you add your Constitution modifier. If you already have Constitution as a saving throw, then you add your proficiency in addition to that. So they gain bonuses to that. So they make good casters. They gain the ability to bite. They just go. They get plus it becomes, instead of like punching, they just bite. And it's 1d6 plus your strength modifier. Instead of the... Yeah, it's disgusting right off the bat. And they can just go, hung! And if they don't have weapons, they can just bite twice. If they're a fighting class with extra attack.
They sound like they would make a pretty brutal monk.
Or, they're still proficient in biting. So, if someone gets up on a lizard folk wizard... A lizard wizard, they can just bite them.
Yeah. Seeing being a very good barbarian.
Yeah. In fact, Marco Amazo is playing a lizard folk barbarian, partially inspired by my lizard folk ranger in my game. Like, he's a lizard folk barbarian who's also a bounty hunter. Yeah. All sorts of different things. They also have the ability to harvest bone and hide from slain beasts. The way, thankfully, John runs it in his game is anything that I kill, I can fucking make parts from, because I chose the guild artisan background. So, making shit out of dead shit is my thing.
Ooh.
But they can make items from slain enemies, like a club, shield, javelin, or darts, or blowgun needles. All you need is like a dagger and leatherworker's tools. And you can do that on a short rest. They can swim for 15 minutes, or hold their breath for 15 minutes, minimum. And they also have natural armor. Oh shit, his armor is actually higher than what I said it was. Damn, I thought it was 12 plus his dex. No, the base is 13 plus your dex. So basically, they never have to cast mage armor because their skin already does it.
Whoa.
Oh, they also have the ability Hungry Jaws, where if they use the bite, they, in addition to the normal damage, you gain temporary hit points equal to your Constitution modifier, and you can use it once per short or long rest.
That's handy.
Yeah. It's one of my favorite races.
Why wait for your...
Huh?
Why wait for your enemy to die before you eat the meat?
Exactly. It might go bad. Anyway, next up is probably your favorite race, Scorpio. Tabaxi.
Yay for kitty people.
Yes. Now, they've also got personality quirks and traits. My curiosity is fixed on, and there's a D8 you can roll to decide that, a god or planar entity, a monster, a lost civilization, a wizard's secrets, a mundane item, a magic item, a location, or a legend or tale. That's your obsessions. You're obsessed with these things. You pick one, or you roll a D8 and let the dice decide. Then there's quirks. There are 10 of these. You miss your tropical home and complain endlessly about the freezing weather, even in summer. 2. You never wear the same outfit twice, unless you absolutely must. 3. You have a minor phobia of water and hate getting wet. 4. Your tail always betrays your inner thoughts. So tabaxi also have tails.
Yay for tails.
5. You purr loudly when you're happy. That's so adorable! Ah! Anyway.
Why would you not have that?
I forget what quirk John's Tabaxi Rogue has in Adventure League. I'll have to ask him later. Or he'll probably say over here, unless he's hanging out with his small children. Anyway. You keep a small ball of yarn in your hand, which you constantly fidget with. 7. You are always in debt, since you spend your gold on lavish parties and gifts for friends. Can't possibly be that one. At all. He's the one who bought the fucking bag of holding that we have. Yeah, we don't have much else other than that. When talking about something you're obsessed with, you speak quickly and never pause, and others can't understand you. That's rather annoying. I've done that before. You are a font of random trivia from the lore and stories you have discovered. That would be me. And 10. You can't help but pocket interesting That's the one he has. You can't help but pocket interesting objects you come across. He's pulled out buttons. He's pulled out, shiny rocks. He's pulled out, someone's fork.
That's funny.
Yeah. The ability scores are Dex +2 and Charisma +1, because cats. They have Dark Vision. They have Feline Agility. Your reflexes and agility allow you to move with a burst of speed. When you move your turn in combat, you can double your speed until the end of your turn. Once you use this trait, you can't use it again until you move 0 feet on one of your turns. So it's really quick to recharge if you need to. Just stop moving for a second. They have Cat's Claws, which give 1d4 slashing damage, plus strength instead of punching. And that's... Well, they also get other racial skills, but, I haven't gone into anyone's racial skills. The last one in this book, I believe, of the ones with pictures, are Tritons. That is one ugly motherfucker.
They are fish folk, aren't they?
Sort of. They're not quite sea elves, but they're not quite merfolk either. Because they have some fins, they have blue skin, and green hair, and John also played one of these. He based him on old Greg. It was terrifying. Old Gregos. Give me a second. Drinking water because my throat's parched. Too much dick sucking. So they also have quirks, although I don't think he used any of these. You phrase requests as orders that you expect to be obeyed. You are quick to boast of the greatness of your civilization. You learned an antiquated version of common and drop thee and thou into your speech. You assume that people are telling you the truth about local customs and expectations. That would be one I would use. I would so use that. Yeah, we all wear purple hats that are inside out around here. With our underwear on the outside. Come on. What's wrong with you? Oh, okay. Just take his pants all the way off right there. Take the underwear. That would so be the one I'd take. The surface world is a wondrous place, and you catalog all its details in a journal. Or you mistakenly assume that surface folk know about and are impressed by your people's history. I kind of like that they include those on a few of the monstrous ones. Just because it gives you more to work with for roleplay. I really appreciate that. They also gain +1 to 3 different stats: strength, con, and charisma. And they have a swim speed that equals their land walking speed of 30 feet. Excuse me. You can cast Fog Cloud, Gust of Wind, and Wall of Water. You can only do one of those 3 one time per long rest. Let's see. You can communicate simple ideas with beasts that can breathe water. So you can speak to fish. Make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Aquaman.
Yes, exactly. Adapted to even the most extreme ocean depths. You have resistance to cold damage, and you ignore the drawbacks caused by a deep underwater environment. Although, they're usually the kind of race that you have to ask a DM, hey, is there going to be anything having to do with, like, the shoreline or beaches or a lot of lakes, a lot of underwater stuff, because they thrive most around water. Now, monstrous adventurers.
Aha.
And they do have origins you can pick from, but you don't have to. It can just be, hey, you were just brought up differently, or hey, your family was killed, so a bunch of humans were like, oh, their family was evil, but it's such a cute baby with weird snaggletooth. Or, oh my god, look at that huge, huge ass eyebrow that goes all the way across that baby's ears. Or shit like that. Or, how the hell does that baby already have tusks? Stuff like that. You can roll a d8 for your monstrous origin. 1, you're a spy sent to undermine your enemies from within. 2, you're the victim of a curse or polymorph spell. 3, you were raised by humans, elves, or dwarves, and have adopted their culture, which is the one I just fucking mentioned. 4, at a young age, you adopted a human religion, and now serve it faithfully. That's actually a pretty cool one, now that I think about it. 5, you received divine insight that sent you on your path. This, by the way, is God. Blagod. This was Blagod. Divine insight that sent you on your path, and occasionally receive new visions that guide you.
Blagod smash evil.
Yes. The joke with him was when he does good stuff, he gets to have dreams about being small woodland creatures going around and having fun as his reward for being a good person.
The field of bunnies.
Yes.
Delicious, delicious bunnies.
But they're not so delicious when you are a bunny.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Unless you're a cannibal bunny.
A Vorpal bunny. Anyway, moving on. Your sworn enemy is an ally of your people, forcing you to leave your tribe to gain vengeance. That's actually a pretty cool one, too. 7. An evil entity corrupted your people's society. And 8. An injury or strange event caused you to lose all memory of your past, but occasional flashes of it return to you. Dun dun dun! This stream is me explaining races, and then I'm going to make a quick character. God damn, time is fucking going faster than I thought it would be. But anyway, on with the actual races. Bugbear. That's the one that I mentioned with the eyebrows that go across the ears. It doesn't really have any real description of them. That's in the monster manual. But bugbears gain +2 to strength, +1 to dex. They gain dark vision. They have the long-limbed ability, which makes your melee attacks gain reach. So they can hit 5 feet farther away. So if they're rocking a mace, they can just be like, "Blop! I hit you 10 feet away. What you gonna do? Try to attack me? I can just walk away from you now, bitch." And just walk away.
Imagine the reach you would have with a spear.
Yeah, pole arms. 10 feet becomes 15 feet. A fucking spear or glaive-wielding bugbear? You ain't never getting away from that son-of-a-bitch, especially if he has Sentinel.
Whew.
Yeah. They also gain the ability to use stealth no matter what class they are. And if you surprise a creature and hit it with an attack on your first turn of combat, you deal an extra 2d6 damage.
Nice.
Yeah, they get sneak attack without being a rogue. Which is weird, considering they're fucking 6 to 8 feet tall. Yeah. Then everyone's favorite, Goblin. Dex +2, +1 con. Fun fact, they reach adulthood at age 8. Let's see. They have dark vision. They have quite possibly one of my favorite abilities for them, Fury of the Small.
Which is good.
Yeah, once per short or long rest, when you deal damage, you can also deal... they also have to be one size larger than you or larger. So, medium and anything bigger than that.
Not hard.
Yeah, you deal extra damage of your level. Like, straight up. Like, if you're level 10, you deal an extra 10 damage. If you're level 15, you deal an extra 15. Just as an example.
Yes, taking an extra 15 damage to the kneecaps is
Yes.
a terrible way to go.
They also automatically have the ability to disengage or hide as a bonus action, regardless of what class they're playing.
Oh, nice. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so, a goblin fighter can still disengage as a bonus action and run away. And then next round, pull out a bow. Dink, dink! Hobgoblin. Ride on wing glider, fling bombs. No, wrong hobgoblin. They gain +2 to con, +1 to intelligence, oddly making them good as wizards. But they usually don't make many hobgoblin wizards because they also ugly. They have dark vision. They automatically are proficient with 2 martial weapons of their choice, or of your choice, and light armor. So you can be a wizard with a martial weapon and light armor just by being a hobgoblin. And let's see. The ability is called Saving Face, but I have to read this whole thing because it won't make sense otherwise. Hobgoblins are careful not to show weakness in front of their allies. For fear of losing status, if you miss with an attack, or with an attack roll, or fail an ability check or saving throw, you can gain a bonus to the roll equal to the number of allies you can see within 30 feet. Maximum bonus of +5. Once you use this trait, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. So basically, oh shit, I fucked up. No, I didn't. Just looking around at your friends. I meant to do that. I meant to gently caress his testicle sack. Anyway, finally, I believe... No, there's still one more after... Yeah, two more after this. Kobold. Those little bastards. +2 dex, plus... they only have +2 to dex. They actually have -2 to strength.
Ooh.
Yeah. They don't make spectacular strength-based fighters, but they can make really good finesse fighters.
Yeah, dex-based guys. Pretty good.
Yeah. Rogues, they're great with. Dex-based fighters. They can, oddly enough, be pretty good paladins, because you don't need high strength to use smite. And their abilities are Dark Vision, of course. Pack Tactics, which give them advantage on attack rolls against a creature of if at least one of your allies is within 5 feet of them.
Yeah, so if you're standing next to your Goliath friend, you can have a good advantage there.
But this one ability is another one I have to read entirely. Grovel, Cower, and Beg. As an action on your turn, you can cower pathetically to distract nearby foes until the end of your next turn. Your allies gain advantage on attack rolls against enemies within 10 feet of you that can see you. Once you use this trait, you can't use it again until a short or long rest. So,
very useful.
Yeah, it's very useful, but it makes you look like a pussy.
Hello, Muscal.
Hello, Muscal! They also actually have disadvantage on perception checks that rely on sight in the sun. Or attacks in the sun. Pretty much anything having to do with sight in the sun.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good question. What is my favorite race? Oh, it's probably going to be a tie between goblins and kobolds.
I have so many races that I just adore.
3-way tie. Goblins, kobolds, and tabaxi. But I like so many characters. I like so many races. Oh.
Yeah. Don't be racist. Anyway, I'm going to move on to the next race. Orc. Straight up orc.
Mm-hmm.
They gain +2 to strength, +1 to constitution. However, -2 to intelligence. They some dumb motherfuckers. Don't write them off from being a wizard, though, because, you can just pump points into your intelligence. You'll just have a starting maximum of 13, which is okay. It's still +1, but you're still going to want to have more stat points later, which you get at level 4 and 8. Yeah. Anyway. They, hold on. Let me just get down to the abilities. They get Dark Vision. They get Aggressive. As a bonus action, you can move up to your speed toward an enemy of your choice. that you can see or hear. And you must end this move closer to the enemy than you started. So basically, if you are really pissed, you can just double dash right there and still hit them. They are beasts. That's pretty much it. That's their other than normally having intimidation. But you're also an orc. Look, Narush! For the whores! Anyway, the last one on this list, without pulling out the Ravnica book, because they're not available for Adventure League, is Yuan Ti Pureblood. Basically, think snake people.
Not quite as cool as Yuan Ti Abominations.
Well, the Purebloods look more human, but have like some scaling on their face, their arms, their legs. Other than that, from far away, they look like a normal person, but up close, you can see that they are very much not. They gain +2 charisma and +1 intelligence. So they make for great wizards. They make for great charisma-based spellcasters. But don't write them off for melee because they have other abilities as well. They have dark vision. They have innate spellcasting. You automatically know the poison spray cantrip. You can cast animal friendship an unlimited number of times on snakes. And only snakes. But any kind of snake. So it can be anything from like a flying snake to a venomous snake to a gigantic boa constrictor.
Yeah, that big old snake from that first one shot. Ooh.
Yeah.
If we'd have played Yuan Ti Pureblood, we could have talked our way out of that.
Well, it would have just come with you. It would have been like, I love you.
Fair enough.
And at level 3, no matter what level 3 you are, whatever class, or multi-class, whatever, you can also cast suggestion. Like I can suggest that you like and subscribe, and, you know, if you want to, throw money at me by hitting join on YouTube or subscribe on Twitch. Thumbs up. Anyway, you also gain magic resistance, which is a really good ability. Spells deal half damage, or no, you just get the advantage on saving throws against spells and magical effects. I believe gnomes also have this ability, but only if they are going for intelligence, charisma, or wisdom saving throws. I can't because they're in a different book, and I don't have to. I don't want to have to like flip. But for those that want to fap later, I'll bring out the Yuan Ti Pureblood girls. There we go.
I think abominations are cooler to look at, but I don't think they're a playable race yet.
Nope. There you go. That's Yuan Ti Pureblood. That's the chick.
Oh man, I'd love to play as an abomination. Can have snake legs. Be amazing.
Or this version. This is not this one. This one. This is another. Like this would be as far as I would let a player go for a Yuan Ti Pureblood. Not this. That's too fucking powerful. Fuck that. But this, yeah. That would be okay. The chick is just a female Yuan Ti Pureblood. That's all. That's all she is. And without pulling out the Ravnica book, which I wish it were Adventure League legal. Oh my god, it's almost 10. And I haven't even made a character. Shit. I've been talking about races this whole time. It looks like next Monday I'm going to have to do classes.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. That goes to
Holy
show
shit.
we got we got something set up. We might be learn stuff about D&D Monday.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you know, I was originally doing what's it called? Teaching people about champions. But I'll just show off. This is Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. It is not Adventure League legal yet. However, it does have races in it. So if you're doing your own home games, this has so much stuff packed into this book. This is like one of the more useful all-around books because it has stuff to build one-shots with, specific to Ravnica. It has races. It has 2 subclasses that aren't available in other books. And I'm just going to give really quick race descriptions because, you know, of course they've got elves, of course they've got humans. They also have centaurs, which I'll just show the picture. There you go, centaur lady. Ashley played that in the first one shot she played. I'm not going to go into their stats and everything. Goblins exist in this. Their stats are exactly the same. They just act a little differently.
Isn't there a sub-race of kobolds that have wings?
Yes, but they are not Adventure League legal, and I would not have them in my game, just like I don't have Aarakocra. Which, if you're wondering what Aarakocra are, think birds of prey that have wings on their back and arms in the front.
I think that's in the fast character career.
Yeah, it is. They can just fly at level 1. Luxodon is another race in Ravnica. They're big, hulking elephant people. There's a picture. I played a Luxodon monk. I looked up a whole bunch of really shitty proverbs, and that was all I said. Just different fucking proverbs that for some reason fit every goddamn situation. It was awesome. But they were like really shitty ones. Like the last thing I said was, as I was like knocking a guy out, was, the problem with the gene pool is there is no lifeguard, and hit him. It was great. They also have minotaurs. And the young minotaurs, which are mini minotaurs. I'm kidding. There's no such thing as a mini minotaur. Although there are miniatures of minotaurs.
That would be adorable, though.
Yes, that would. Especially if you had a miniature of it. Then you'd have a miniature mini minotaur. I'm going to stop. Anyway, there's a couple of weird ones, too. Simic Hybrid. They're really hard to explain. This is not really the be-all, end-all picture of them because they don't all have crab arms. Some of them have tentacles. Some of them have, like, mantle-like membranes across their arms and legs. Some of them have a monkey tail. Some of them have, like, climbing claws built into their hands. Holy shit, what just happened? Oh, God. Wait. Yeah, what the hell is wrong with you, Desiree? Hi, Desiree! Go follow her on Twitch. She's been a friend of mine for, like, no less than... Oh, Karma Cop! Shit, what the hell? Damn. Okay, and I heard a third one, so I've got to respond to that too. Give me a second. Braddock! There we go. I don't... Oh, I got a fourth one. Okay. I was about to finish the stream, guys! Creative Play and Podcast. And I just got a fifth one! Ah! I have to wait until it shows up on my screen so I can greet them. Otherwise, I'd feel like shit. Armchair Wizards! Ah! Oh god! Now a sixth one!
It sounds like you've reached the ears of the D&D community by the sounds of some of these
Phantom
names.
Man 1! Hi! I've lost count. Another one just happened. I'm hearing them as they're happening. Nacho Daddy! Wait, weren't you following me on... They're following me on Twitch. I have to look at my Twitch chat. Holy shit. I need to move this over here. Oh my god. Yeah, it does sound like a raid. Sean Wolf. Jesus Christ! And another one! The PC Nub Hub. Or the PC Nub Nub. My bad. The last one is Vidalken, because they're going to keep coming. I'll say their name when they pop up. Instant Beppies. I still don't know what the fuck is wrong with you guys, but thank you. And there's another one! It's still not straightening up. God damn it. Tripler 3Ed. Anyway, Vidalken. Oh my god, another one. What the hell? Viren Pirin. So yeah, Vidalken are like purple. They're like purple elves that are really smart and really good at stuff. There we go. Okay. I have to keep watching this. XXX Co-Wolf.
That's
Starfaz 11. Half of the fun is trying to pronounce their fucking names. Todorforo. Oh my god. Did I just get, like, raided? Jesus Christ! What a clapapega! Are you watching my stream at all? This is... It's astounding.
I'm watching on YouTube and I'm
Miguel the Legendex. These are all on Twitch, by the way, guys. If someone hits subscribe while I'm online on YouTube, it shows as well. Mass O Fusion. I think it shows. I don't remember. Oh, shit. I might have to update something. I'm waiting. Unorthofox. Is that actually who I think it is? If that is the Unorthofox I'm thinking, she's actually pretty hot. Cassie G978 hit follow. I thought you were already following, baby. Max. Because there's two X's.
Oh my, that's...
Yeah, it's still going. Chaos Sphinx, I thought you were already subscribed. Or
wait,
following.
is there a bug going on there? Is it just reading out all of the people that are already subscribed to you?
I don't know. Eating a sandwich? I'm starting to think so, because I know eating a sandwich.
I'm pretty sure that's some kind of bug.
Yeah, it's looking like a bug. Maybe.
Lots of familiar people.
Yeah.
I mean, Moose said she was already subbed to you and she showed up.
Yeah. Wait. 2, 3,
And
4. I
Twitch
think
is
it's
down
over.
for me. I can't access.
It's over. Hold on.
It is over?
Maybe.
Oh god. Soon I can pee.
Why is it not... I'm not offline. I'm still online.
You seem to be still online. I can see you're still on the screen, but there might be a slight delay.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, but not too terrible from my end.
Well, it's probably more my end because I'm all the way in UK.
Across the
Is there
pond.
something wrong
It
Across
works
with
on
the pond.
YouTube for me, but on Twitch, it won't load anything.
Twitch just broke.
Yeah, Twitch is down for me. Server maintenance.
Oh, that would
Oh.
explain why all those names just suddenly appeared out of nowhere on my Twitch
Yeah.
stuff. You know, okay, it's all right. Yeah, it's a bug. I read the chat. Sorry, I forgot what your name was on there. But yeah, all of a sudden it just set off my my thing, and I'm like, wait, what? What?
I
don't
mean,
know
at
if
first
my-
it looked like a raid.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But I have to go back into obscurity because I believe that was the last question mark. What was this? Hold on. Give me 1 second. I have to go to Streamlabs and take a look. Streamlabs.com. Log in. Oh god. Okay, maybe I logged into the wrong account.
Excuse me.
No problem. And thank you guys for your patience, because I'm just trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, Twitch is down.
Great. What's this? Okay. I have no idea what's going on. But anyway, guys, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for listening to me flap my gums, expecting to create a character in front of you guys. And next time, I'll let you guys send me tweets at DJ Winza or comments on the YouTube version of this when it's the on demand. And you guys can say which race you want to actually use for your Adventure League character that I will make next time on Dragon Ball Z! I gotta hit the button now. Bye.
Okie dokie. Later.
Have a good one.